We are witnessing a growing rise of young men completely opting out of the dating market. According to a study by Pew in the US, 63% of men are not looking for anything on an intimate level at all, whether that be long term or even just something casual. 63% of young men. And I have a lot of sympathy for a large portion of young men who are really struggling to navigate the current dating market, because I understand the struggles that we are all having. I feel it has changed a lot over the last 5-10 years with the revolution of online dating and kind of the expectations on both men and women. But the people I do not have any sympathy for whatsoever are those who refer to themselves as black pillars. So a large proportion of you watching this video will probably know what black pillars are. But for those of you who aren't, they are pretty much one extreme up from the red pill. And the red pill is basically you build yourself up as a young man, you focus on going to your gym, and it's more about being confident, and you kind of build your worth as a young man. And I think a lot of that advice is good. However, a lot of it ends up chasing materialistic success and stuff that I don't think young men should aspire to be like, and it can be quite a degenerate rabbit hole to kind of fall down if you look at a lot of the male influencers out there. And I think that's probably one of the negative side effects to someone like Andrew Tate's message. A lot of the stuff that he has in his life, such as the cars and the watches, is not the stuff that young men should be chasing. But that's not what today's video is about. I'm talking about the black pill, and the black pill is basically these guys, and the only real black pillar that I know of who's kind of got a big audience is someone called Wheat Waffles, and you might be familiar with him. And they basically believe that it's all about genetics. So you've got to be tall and handsome, and nothing else really matters. If you're not tall, if you're not 6'3", and you've not got a really handsome face, you're not worthy. You're not going to have any success in the dating market. And I know you watching this, if you're not really familiar with my type of content or self-improvement, red pill, black pill, anything like this before, you will probably watch this and be like, what the fuck is this? Because to any normal person who's not kind of tapped in the head in some way will look at this content and be like, this is just not, it couldn't be really further from the truth. But is there some truth in this? Well, logically, and in my opinion, and I think a large proportion of young men watching this video will agree that yes, there is some truth. Looks are very important. I'd say they probably are. They're more important now than they have ever been, and I feel like that is the way it's heading going forward for sure. And I believe there's a truth in nearly everything, in kind of every kind of agenda that someone has. There's probably some truth behind it, so they wouldn't think of it anyway. It wouldn't cross their mind. They wouldn't have a belief in it if it didn't kind of resonate with someone somewhere in the world, even if it doesn't apply to you. You have to look at it from other people's perspective and kind of see where they've kind of got this ideology from. And I've witnessed the dating scene myself. I know how the market works quite well, and there is some truth about it. But the main message that I can give to these black pillars is, and that's all I can say. And even if this is true, if this is 100% the truth, that it's all about looks, it's all about genetics, it's all about being tall and handsome and having these hunter eyes that fucking all these black pillars will go on about, and facial symmetry and all this bullshit, and what are you gonna do? Just not try? Just go sulk about it, curl yourself up in a ball, and just be like, life's so unfair and I'm just gonna give up? Okay, you do that. But like I say, this could be 100% true, which if you talk to anyone who's not tapped in the head, as I say, any man or any woman specifically, you want to find a woman who doesn't think it should be all about this, which is any woman you'd want to be with. If you go speak to anyone, they'll know it's not the truth. But if it was, okay, it doesn't change anything. You can't just you can't just be like, okay, the world's unfair, so I'm just not going to try. And I feel like that is the problem with a lot of these black pillars. A lot of these guys, it's funny because they don't make any effort to improve their lives whatsoever. A lot of these guys who have these YouTube channel, if you I've never done it myself, but if you type in a black pillar on YouTube, you will notice that a lot of these guys won't even show their face on the camera because they think they're so ugly and all of this, or they'll wear a mask or something. A lot of these guys won't go to the gym at all. A lot of these guys probably stink because they stay in the house all day. They don't take showers and stuff. They're just disgusting people. They make no effort at all to better their lives. And I have no sympathy for anyone who is in unfortunate circumstances. Even a lot of these guys probably aren't even that bad. Like, I look at someone like Wheat Waffles and I'm not really too sure why he's thinks the world is so unfair. He's not a bad looking guy by any means. Like, I don't think he's anything special, but he's just a normal looking guy. I don't understand why a lot of these people who, if they just put a bit of effort into themselves, improve themselves, become a better looking man, worked out, got to the gym, like this kind of red pill. I sound like a really red pill guy speaking like this, but like, that's what self-improvement is all about, is becoming the best version of yourself. And a lot of these guys just aren't trying at all. And I don't really want to hear from people like that. I don't want people in my life who look at the world and look at external circumstances and blame that as like why they're in this situation, because I could have done that. I've been down bad many times. I've many times where majority of the population, if they were in my circumstances, would have just not tried, not made any effort, would have felt sorry about themselves, said how life was unfair. And that's what I did for the vast majority of my life. It was only kind of when I discovered self-improvement and discovered that what is possible out there, and that a lot of it comes from inside of you, and there's so much you can control, and you should focus on everything that you can control to better your life. And stuff such as height, or where you're born, or your looks, like, to a certain extent, don't focus on stuff you can't control, because you're not going to change anything, are you? You can't change that. Like, nowadays there is stuff you can do to make yourself taller, and you can have all this surgery done, but like, really, like, is it really that bad? Do you really need to change your face? Do you really need to change your height? I just think there's so much you can change about yourself inside and out, and you should focus on anything that you can to better your life, better your chances in the dating market, improve your self-esteem, whatever it may be that you really are insecure about, then you do that. But I want to speak about my kind of main problem with a lot of these guys who are black pillars, who call themselves black pillars, and they are ruining men's self-esteem even more. Because we already know that men are lonely than ever. They're really struggling. It's not spoken about enough. It's kind of all covered in the media. No one wants to talk about it other than people who are kind of, they get censored, like Andrew Tate, and Russell Brand recently is kind of going along that lines. But anyone that kind of speaks up about this, but I'm not going to speak too much about it in this video. But we know that men are struggling more than ever, and I think that's only going to grow. And people who are call themselves black pillars and who are trying to profit off it, like I saw Wheat Waffles doing the other day, he's selling some type of course where he'll get 10 university girls to rate these black pill guys on looks. And why? And people are paying for this too. People are paying like £50, £100 for some university girls to rate them and basically call them ugly. And he'll have like some course, and he'll basically just say, like, you're ugly, mate, you should move to Southeast Asia, or just something that's just going to ruin men's self-esteem. And I really think this is the opposite to what we're here to do. We're here to help men. We're here to help people who are struggling to navigate their way through life. And it's hard enough as it is, and there's people out there like Wheat Waffles who are profiting off this and who are making the problem even worse. And I just really don't like it at all. Like, I want to help young men as much as I can, but people who are in this kind of black pill space, who don't want to try, who just kind of want the problem to get worse, then, like I say, I have no sympathy for you. But I think that's all I can really say on these guys, I just wish they would stop and actually try and help young men out there, because there's a lot that could be done. There's a lot you could do to make a career out of this without trying to ruin men's mental health even more and bring it down. But I feel if you've discovered a lot of black pill content, I can understand that some people are going to be too far deep into this, and that's a sad reality. It's the same with kind of porn, OnlyFans, video games, all of these vices that a lot of young men are really struggling with in this day and age. But yeah, I really hope, just be optimistic. Like, I think that is the best way you can kind of just go through life. Just have a bit of optimism and think that things might actually get better, because life is hard. It's meant to be hard, and hard times create strong men. And one of the best pieces of advice that I have for you is that there's someone out there in worse circumstances than you, and they've done it better than you. There's someone out there in worse circumstances than you that's probably done it 10 times better than you. And just falling in love with kind of optimism and having that positive outlook on life will take you a long way. And if that's one thing you can take from this video, I hope it has helped you. And that's all I have for today. If you could like and subscribe, much appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Take care.